Hello, beautiful weirdos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing awesome. I have something super duper awesome to share with you. I know a lot of you have wanted to see this, so I did a thing. This video is going to be kind of like two sections. One, I'm going to show you how to make glitter dip by yourself. And also we're going to get into part 2 of what it's like to be a creator slash influencer on YouTube. I will have timestamps down below, so you can feel free to skip around to whatever part you feel like going to. First thing I'm going to do is make some glitter dip. So this is ultra fine glitter that I got from Michael's, and I'm going to use approximately equal parts. I didn't measure really. I don't tend to measure anything. Even recipes, if it has to do with measurements, I'm kind of out. I don't bake for that reason. I love to cook, don't bake. So I'm doing equal parts of clear dip powder. I'm using my igel Beauty Clear like I usually use, and equal part of this gorgeous champagne gold ultrafine glitter. I don't remember how much this cost exactly. The glitters do go on sale every so often at Michael's, so keep an eye out for that. You could probably get this at Walmart or Amazon. I just happened to be at Michael's getting stuff to do tie-dye art with my girls, and I was distracted by shiny objects, so I picked up some glitter, and I'm gonna just put it in this dip jar. These dip jars I got on Amazon, I'll leave links for you guys. They're probably in my storefront, and I'm just gonna give it the shakiest shake ever. I want that super blended and mixed, and I'm gonna show you the application process here in a little bit. I'm going to get into a little bit of the creator portion of this video while I'm getting everything mixed up. If you have questions about the glitter stuff, comment down below. I'll take care of you, don't worry. So if you didn't see my first creator slash influencer video, I will leave that in the cards for you guys. I did talk a lot about what it's like to be on YouTube, dealing with companies and all that kind of stuff. And you guys were so excited about it. You all wanted a part 2. And honestly, there's probably going to be a part 3 because you guys had so many questions. I did also put a post up in the Facebook group, and you guys had so many questions there too. So I'm going to jump right into like one of my first questions, I guess. One of the first questions I got was, what's my schedule like? How many hours do I spend creating and editing and all that fun stuff? And honestly, it's not as long as you would think. It's very part-time. I film probably 2 to 3 times a week. And when I film, it usually takes me only about half hour, 45 minutes, depending on what kind of nails I'm doing. So that's filming. Editing takes a little bit longer, especially with voiceovers and stuff, but I usually break it up into 3 different parts. I'll do filming, and then I'll do editing. Editing is pretty quick, usually. Voiceover always takes the longest for me because, as you guys know, I like to trip over my words all the time. I do edit out a little bit and redo voiceover sometimes, but usually it's one straight cut. But I'm OCD and anal retentive, so I have to like listen to it 16 times and make sure I'm okay with it before I upload it. So there's that. That's editing. Editing usually takes me a good hour or so, depending on the length of the video, of course. And then uploading, which I usually do like the day before or 2 days before. I used to do it super ahead of time, but I'm crazy busy with school and stuff. So I'll do it the day before or 2 days before, and that usually takes me about an hour between exporting to YouTube and then uploading the whole thing, doing the description box. I'm super lazy with my description box. If you guys haven't noticed, I copy and paste. The only thing I change around in my description box is what products I use, the timestamps, and if I have to add any discount codes or links to stuff. That's really it. So I don't know, how long is that? Let's say 4 hours, 2 or 3 days a week, maybe. So that's part-time. That's like less than 20 hours a week that I spend doing all the YouTube stuff. This does not count, doing the Facebook group, answering comments, answering DMs. I do have business hours for that kind of stuff. You may have noticed that I no longer answer emails or DMs or messages on the weekends. I won't, because I need my time, especially when I have the kids here, which they're here all the time, but I want to do stuff with them on the weekends. So pause my content story time to show you how gorgeous this glitter is. Is it not perfect? It's perfect. I will leave the other 2 colors down in the box for you guys in case you're curious, but this glitter came out so damn perfect. I couldn't believe it. Perfect. I don't know if it's going to work for all glitters or for different size glitters. You may have to play around with ratios, but for this glitter, perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. Total coverage. I was so happy with it. Anyway, back to creator stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like what my schedule is. Do I get burnt out? No, I love doing this, to be honest. And I told you that in the last video. This is not stressful for me. I call it a job because I get paid, but it's like a hobby I get paid to do, if that makes sense. I love talking to you guys. Interacting with you guys is my favorite part of what I do. But I love doing my nails. I love editing. I love seeing the finished videos. It's really something. It's a labor of love, if you will, even though it's not very labor intensive. I just like doing it. So no, don't get burnt out. Even during like quarantine, like when there was a lockdown and I was uploading every day, it was crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't believe how much I was uploading, but I had a ball doing it. I have 0 complaints. I will not complain because I loved every minute of it. Speaking of editing, I had another question about how I edit, what apps I use, etc., etc. My answer is not exciting. I film on my iPhone. I use iMovie to edit. That's all. iMovie has a small selection of music, but it's pretty good. That's where my music comes from. It's from iMovie. If you are trying to edit on a different phone or a different device using a different program, I couldn't tell you how to work anything else. I have no idea. YouTube, you can do a lot of editing and stuff on YouTube, and they do have a tremendous library of royalty-free and like non-copyrighted music you can choose from. Not a big deal if you're not monetized, but if you hope to be monetized at some point, you cannot use music that is copyrighted because they won't pay you to use someone else's work. It makes sense in my head, but I know that can be confusing. I didn't get it at first. I had to have someone explain to me like I was a 4-year-old because that's generally how I need to hear things. Break it down for me. So that's how I edit. My filming equipment is, like I said, my phone. I have a tripod and a ring light. That's it. The blue mat that you see on my nail desk is a silicone placemat. Nothing crazy. I have used other stuff to cover my nail surface. I've used like contact paper, like you would line the inside of your cabinets with. I've used other placemats. Whatever protects my nail surface and is remotely aesthetic, I will. Aesthetic? My girls yell at me all the time for pronouncing that word wrong. Yeah, I really don't care. As long as my nail surface is protected. My desk is pretty durable though, but I like to switch it up every so often, Another question that I got, totally off the topic of editing and stuff, but still having to do with being an influencer / creator is, and I think this is a good thing for everybody to hear because I know most of you probably post in a lot of nail groups. And the question was how to handle quote unquote haters or people that leave just like negative comments for seemingly no reason. And I have a great answer for this one. I have said this to so many creators over the last year or so, and I will stand by it to this day. It's going to sound ridiculous though. Hear me out. I have gotten negative comments or negative feedback or whatever you want to call it. And my best defense, I guess, in that situation is to be kind. Because in my mind, I feel like what kind of person, and think about it logically, what kind of person takes time out of their day to make someone else feel bad? And in my mind, the only person I can think of to do such a thing is someone who's having a real bad day or feels the need to, gain some sort of power in a situation. So I become super kind to those people, and it's crazy. It really is, because there's one experience off the top of my head that I can think about, and it doesn't happen often, thankfully, but I had somebody comment on one of my videos, and I don't remember what it was. I don't remember who it was. It was a while ago. And they said something just like, well, why would you do it this way? It just seems stupid. And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. Maybe there is a better way to do this, but we all do what we do, right? And the person replied to my comment and they were like, wasn't expecting that answer, but thank you. Couldn't say anything nasty after that. And I have found that to be true. In 100% of the conditions that I have found haters or negative comments or negative feedback in, it's real hard to be mean and hurtful to somebody who's being kind to you. And I feel like showing human beings that kind of kindness might just be what they need for them to turn their day around. I always think about what the other person's going through. Like if someone's hurtful or mean, like what could they possibly be going through that put them in that kind of a mood? So I try to always think along those avenues, which doesn't always make sense, but that's just a me mentality, and I have found it to work. So take it if you want it, and if you don't, you can leave it. But that's what I do to handle the quote haters or people who leave negative remarks and comments. So my next thing I want to talk about is kind of a hot topic. I've seen so much about this recently, especially ambassadorships. And I know because I was new. I was new not very long ago. So I know how it feels when a company reaches out to you and they offer you what sounds like an amazing opportunity. You know, we saw your Instagram photos. We love your content. We love your photos. We want you to be an ambassador. Okay, that sounds awesome. And sometimes it will be. Here's my thing with ambassadorships though. I am an ambassador technically to a couple of companies. I don't really even know what that means. Some ambassadorships are more strict than others. Usually there's a bunch of stuff the companies want you to do in exchange for free product every so often. That's usually the arrangement, right? My best advice is to do your research. Find out everything you need to know about that company, what their expectations are of you, what limitations you might have in taking that kind of a position. And you also want to know what kind of benefits that you're going to have. If you have to pay for product in exchange for posting about it, I don't know if that's worth it I wouldn't do it if it was just me. I'm not going to pay for product and then promote for you, because you're essentially doing free PR for these people, right? You're promoting for free, and now you have to buy product. No, I would say no. If they're going to offer you free product in exchange for promotion, 100%, you know, why not? That's a great opportunity. Plus it might be exposure for you, but it's also about the company itself. And this goes back to what I said in my last video about you got to know who you're dealing with. If you're unfamiliar with a company, if it's someone you haven't heard of, or you're just not sure, reach out to someone else in the community. Reach out to me. I'm always here, except for on the weekends, apparently. But you can always reach out to me or anybody else that you know in the community and ask the questions, because people tend to be familiar with a lot of the stuff going on in the community. It's a very chatty community, you know? People often go through the same things, and we all talk. We all talk to each other in some way, shape, or form. So ask the questions. And if you think it's something that's worthwhile for you with your schedule and what you're trying to accomplish, then go for it. But if it's something that's not going to help you in any way, I don't really see a point. And I know it's cool to be like, yeah, I'm an ambassador for this company. Okay, but what is it doing for you? Is it just so you can say that you're an ambassador? I know, I'm being harsh. This is tough love MK right now. If it's not benefiting you in some way, then there might be a problem. Because, like I said in the last video, one hand washes the other. But if you're washing everybody's hand and no one's washing yours, it's kind of an unfair arrangement, if I'm just being 100% honest. I am an what? No, here we go. I'm tripping over words. I am an ambassador, technically, for a few companies. I'm an ambassador for... I don't know. The difference between being like an ambassador and an influencer, I don't know. People send me product and I usually make content about it. Is that what that means? I don't know. I tend to make sure that companies have zero expectations of me, because I can't commit to posting numerous times a month about products for one company, because I deal with so many. But that's something you'd have to work out with whatever company is offering you that ambassadorship. And you're allowed to go to the company and say, this is a great offer and I'm interested, but could we negotiate this? You're allowed to do that. And if it's a company that's worthwhile and they're genuinely interested in taking you on, they're going to work with you. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is you got to be comfy. And if you're not, make yourself comfy. And if it's not okay with them, they may not be the right company for you. That's all I was able to get through. Okay, I'm going to need a part 3. I'm going to need a part 3. There's so much more. I'm going to squish more into another video coming up sometime in the near future. Probably going to need a part 4. This is going to be a series, I suppose, on things that influencers deal with that no one talks about. What did you guys think of the mani? What did you think of the glitter that I made? I will leave all the colors, the pink, the white. If I can link the glitter for you, I will try to, but I did get it at Michael's, like in the store. So if I can't, I can't. But everything else will be down there. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried this before, if you've made your own glitter, if you make your own dips. If you're new here and you just listen to me ramble for whoever knows how many minutes, thank you for listening to me babble on and on about stuff. I appreciate you being here. I'm Marlakris, by the way, in case you didn't know that. We're going to do a little bit of nail art just because I figured I wanted to throw a little bit of a gold accent on that white nail, and I'm literally doing just this. This is all I'm doing. I've got gold nail polish, gel polish, my apologies. This is the Palace from iGel Beauty. I'm just throwing a few little rogue gold dots on my nails so it goes with the rest of the gold themed look. And that's it. Now, seemingly, putting a few dots going down your nail vertically seems like a super easy task, right? Not for me. Why? Because, again, I'm a little OCD, and it was really difficult to get the dots in a perfectly straight line, perfectly centered on my nail. And I don't even think I succeeded, but I stopped caring. I cared for a hot minute, and then I'm like, this is just going to be good enough. It's the way it's going to be, and that's just it. So I'm going to give this a quick cure, 30 seconds on the gel polish. Then I'm going to top coat, put my oil on, and be done. While I'm doing that, I'm going to touch on one last teeny tiny little thing. One question I've gotten asked very frequently, this is directed towards creators on YouTube, by the way, is how do I do my voiceovers and have it not sound like I'm a robot talking to a machine? Because that's what I'm doing. I don't know if this is a me thing or if other people do this. I have no idea. But I literally talk to my phone. I usually have a cat sitting in front of me, which makes it easier. But I talk to my phone as if it were a person in front of me, if it was one of you guys. I talk on these things like I would talk to my best friend, because that's what I want to portray. And that's something that I think creators should know, is the way you portray yourself on these videos should be the way you want to portray yourself in these videos. And I'm here to be y'all's friend. I'm here to be a supporter, a cheerleader, if you will. I'm not here necessarily to teach you stuff. If I do, that's awesome, and that's a bonus. But I'm here more just for support and a little encouragement, and maybe some inspo sometimes, occasionally, when I hit a good mani. They're not all 10s, I'm well aware. This is like a solid 7, if I'm just being honest. I wasn't crazy about the mani in general, but the glitter, I'm going to use this glitter again, believe that. And I'm going to make a few more, I think, because I do have a bunch, actually, of loose glitters. Thanks to my last Facebook recreate, not this past one, the one before it, where I had to do that glitter placement. Yeah, I have a ton of glitter now. So here's the finished look. It's not bad, but it's very summertime. The white, I believe, is iGel Beauty Baby Powder. It's like the only white I like. And I think that's Cherry Bomb from Sparkle & Co., the pink, I think. I'll leave them in the box. Cuticle oil is the same that I've been using, that I'm still obsessed with. It's Twilight Woods from Candi Skin Care's Sharing is Caring trio. That link will be in the box for you guys if it's still available. It may be gone by now. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's gone. She better have saved some for me, because if I run out, I'm gonna be super sad until she comes out with her next creation. I hope that you guys got something out of this. I hope you come back for part 3. Don't forget to catch part 1, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day. Love you, bye.